Hey there, it's Brittany, and I am back with Jesse James Beads today, and we are going to be making a necklace and possibly 2 pairs of earrings. So I have this Mascarpone, and I hope I said that right, but I probably didn't. You'll roast me in the comments. Market Fresh mini mix, and then I also have 2 different colors of chain reaction. We're going to be doing a mixed metal necklace today. This awesome strand of crystals. They're so pretty, and they're in a pretty ombre colorway. And then these fun earrings. This is going to be the challenge piece for me today. I think I have an idea for them, but we'll get to it. So for the necklace, I am going to open up both of my chain reactions, and I am going to get rid of this jump ring here. Now that one is a, you want to use your memory wire cutter to cut that. I know because I've ruined my nice cutters on one of these before from chain reaction, so just be careful. I learned these things so you don't have to. And then I'll take the ring off of this one as well. So we're left with 2 really pretty lengths of beaded chain in gold and silver tone. And this one has like a chocolatey metallic gray bead on it, and this one's all just like a chocolatey metallic. There's no gray in that one, but they're so pretty, and they coordinate. So it's okay to use your 2 different metal colors together. So we're gonna do a necklace with the chain at the forefront, and I think we're gonna do at least 4 lengths of chain, and it's gonna kind of be like this. Yeah, I think that'll be good. So what I'm gonna do is cut each one of these in half, and I'll just take a head pin or piece of wire, whatever you have hanging around, and thread on both ends of the chain. Okay, then I'll find the middle point and just cut that off. I'm going to cut this little jump ring right here. Okay, so now we have 2 equal lengths of chain. And I'll do the exact same thing on my gold piece. So we have 2 gold, 2 silver. I'm going to grab a jump ring, or 2. Actually, I'm going to grab 2 jump rings, and I'm going to layer on my chain on one side. So I'm just going to do a gold, a silver. Oh, I hope that, I don't know that that's going to fit. I'm going to find a little tiny jump ring to put in that little tiny piece right there. So then I'll layer on my silver chain, my other end of my next gold chain, and then my silver chain. Okay, and then we'll close up our jump ring. And then we'll do that same thing with the other side and our little another jump ring. So I don't think it's very imperative that you match them up, but it probably will make it easier on you in the long run if you can put them on in the right order as you put them on in the other side. So we'll do silver, and then our last gold. Close that up. So now we have our focal, which is 2 sets of our chain. And like I said, I don't think it's really going to matter what order you put them in, because they're going to get twisted. That's kind of the look I want. I want it to look like a cluster of chains. I don't really want it to look like a tiered necklace. So we're going to have it like that. And then we have these beautiful crystals here. I'm going to save some for our second pair of earrings. And I'm going to incorporate some of our Market Fresh strand as well, or mix as well. But I'm going to take out 1 or 2 of each of these crystals and put them aside because I need those for my earrings. So then what I'm going to do is just put these in the same order going up. And we'll string them on. You can use eye pins too if you want to connect them, like wire wrap them. So we'll put 4 of each of these going up, and then I'm going to separate them with some seed beads. Okay, so I have some 19 strand Bead bead stringing wire. We have some 11/0 Mayuki seed beads. Just gonna spill those out. You can use gold, you can use silver, whatever color. I thought these silver looked really nice with the tone of the necklace. And it's mixed metal, so you don't really need to use the same color. I'm gonna use a simple gold crimp, and you'll need 2 for each side. I'll put on a crystal. Seed bead. And I'm also going to get out this little quatrefoil. It's my favorite shape that Jessie James Beads has, and we're going to work that in as well. So you'll need 4 of those, and that's from our Market Fresh mix. And I'll keep putting on my crystals. And then when the color changes, I'm putting in a clover bead or quatrefoil, whatever you want to call it. And I'm switching to my next color. Then I'll put on one of my crimps, find my jump ring, come through the jump ring, come back through that crimp, and then we want to make sure that our wires are not crossed. Move that crimp down closer to the jump ring and put it in our crimping pliers. And squish, and turn, squish again, squish one more time. And then we'll put down a few beads toward on my wire. Now, sometimes 11/0s do not like going on 2 pieces of wire, so that's okay. Well, at least we got one more bead on the wire. So I'm going to cut that off, move everything down. Okay, and then I'm going to leave some extra room in case we want to put on more beads. And then I'm going to put on a bead stopper and bead up the other side, see how long it is, and then we'll potentially put on a clasp or more beads. Okay, I am not going to add any more beads because it's the length that I'd like. This is what I like to call business casual. I would absolutely wear this to my corporate day job, and I think it would go really well with just about any outfit if you're going into the office. So I am going to put a clasp on a jump ring here. And then I'm going to put a crimp on here. If you want to use all silver, that's fine, but there was gold and silver. That's why I'm using 2 different metal colors for the back of the necklace. Put on my jump ring and then come back through. That crimp and my bead. And then I'll grab my tail, hold my jump ring and pull. And we want to have a little bit of drape in there, so we're not going to have it be a straight line. And then find your crimping pliers. And squish, turn, squish again, and one last time. Not applying a lot of pressure. Okay, and then we'll just trim off this wire and do the exact same thing on the other side with our other jump ring. Okay, and here is our multi-strand necklace. I love those beads going up the side. You can absolutely, if you wanted to get more than one strand of these, put a strand looped in here. The amount of strands that you can have in the middle of your necklace is pretty much unlimited. It just depends on how much chain you want to add. You can make your own beaded chain, and you can even change it up and have strands like this in the front and then the chain going up the sides. I will absolutely put this on my mannequin and show you how cute this looks. I love it. It's pretty neutral. It's going to go with just about everything. And then we're going to make some earrings to match. So as you remember, I kept apart 4 of each of the colors that were on the coin strand. So for each necklace, you're going to need 2 of each color, okay? You're going to make 1 dangle with a head pin out of one of the darker colors, or one of the darker beads. And I'm going to do a wire wrapped loop here. Okay, and then we're going to make a beaded chain out of the rest and then attach it to this little coin. So I want that little loop to be a little bit smaller. There we go. Hold this, take another pair of pliers and pull that around a couple times. There we go. And then I have some 26 gauge artistic wire. It's a hot mess, but that's what it looks like. It's unraveled. That's what I mean by hot mess. And I am just going to do, like I said, a bunch of wire wrapped loops, and I'm going to connect each one to the next one. So I'm starting with a wire wrapped loop. Just 1 or 2 wraps, and this is very malleable, but I wanted it to be a little bit more delicate than 22 or 24 gauge. However, the head pins I had were a little bit heftier, so it doesn't really matter what you want to do here. You can do whatever. Again, any color is going to work, but we're going to be using that silver earring, so I'm using silver wire. I'm going to put on one of my little coins, move that down, and then do another loop here. Like that. And wrap. So you have a connector. Now we want to connect the next one onto this one before we close up that second loop. So I'm going to do again the same thing at the top. And then before we wire wrap this closed, we'll connect it onto the one we already made. And you're going to do that same principle once you get to this color too. So I'll put this onto my loop, or onto my wire, move it down, click it into place, hold on to this, and wire wrap that closed. Okay, so that's the start of my beaded chain. Next, I'm going to do 2 of the topaz color, and then 1 of this color, and then this one will wire wrap onto that one. Okay, so now we have this beautiful beaded chain, and honestly, you can just put an ear wire on this and you're ready to go. It's so gorgeous. It's like shoulder duster. And then I took the earring and one of my, I think these are 8mm jump rings. So you take off the clasp or the butterfly for the back, put your beaded chain on this jump ring. Close it back up. And then slide it onto your earring. But first, we're gonna kind of put the chain through the earring itself so it can fall down. And then this is actually a great way to have interchangeable earrings. So for right now, I want my earring to hang like this. I need to straighten out some of these loops a little bit. That's okay. but you can take off the jump ring, you can move the jump ring here, you can do whatever you want, but I like how it looks with the chain hanging inside the earring and then coming down. And then it's held on in place once you put the earring through your ear and the back on the earring. So we have this really fun, funky way to change up a hoop. Typically, you don't really see a lot of beaded hoops like this with an open spot in the middle. And I just love how it kind of dangles in the negative space there. And it's so sparkly. So sparkly. So I have one other earring that I wanted to make from the Market Fresh Mascarpone set. We're going to use this beautiful smoky crystal. I really loved this brown bicone. It's so pretty. One of the crystal rondelle spacers and one of the filigrees, and then we'll also need another head pin. And we're just gonna make a vintage inspired earring here. So I'm gonna put on my bead. Oh, I'm gonna find a head pin that's got a ball that's big enough to stop our bead here. Okay, then we'll put on our filigree, rondelle spacer, and then our bicone. And then I will wire wrap the top closed. But when I'm doing that, I'm pulling kind of tight because I want this filigree to go down around my rondelle. Grab this. And pull this around a couple times. Okay, we'll trim. And then what I'm going to do is find each end of this filigree, and I'm going to squeeze it so it forms around our little crystal there. And it kind of encases it, and it makes it look a little bit less sharp and more custom to that bead. And then we have two little drops, and I just love it. Oh, this one's a little wonky. They're so pretty, and you can do, I mean, this, you can only do one per mix, but if you had several mixes or you just want to do a bunch of different drops, these would be really great again to hang from your earrings, or you can do some chain drops on the chain here. Drop that on and then close it right back up. And we made 3 beautiful sparkly projects today that can all go together or be worn by themselves. So thank you for watching. If you are interested in any of these items, there is an affiliate link in the description of this video that helps the channel, and you can find all of these things at Jessie James Beads. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Jessie James Beads for having me back, and stay tuned for Goldie. Bye-bye. Hi, cutie. She's just waiting on dinner. Yeah, hi, cutie booty. How you doing? You laying on all you pillows like a princess? Yeah. Yeah. Hi, cutie. Oh, hi, cutie. Eat the baby.